Yo, 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 YouTube. It's your man's Philustry is coming at you again with another one. I titled this one, excuse me, I titled this one Symbology. So just speaking on the symbols of creation, the symbols of science, the scientific symbol format, and a lot of philosophical patterns that I use is based upon the Holy Bible. Um, I show a lot of biblical insight and speak a lot of biblical insight. If any of my followers um, came to YouTube to follow me from Facebook, I started off on Facebook. So I have a lot of videos on Facebook that are based upon the Holy Bible and my holy biblical experiences. And so I titled this video Symbology, and I'm coming to bring the symbolic nature to cyberspace. And in my feed on YouTube, I see a lot of individuals talking of manifestation, materialization, bringing things into fruition. And you notice that we are, as mankind, as you know, some of us humans, some of us, different type of species and organisms and specimens out here in this great cosmos. We as a whole, just as God's creation, um, manifest. We create and we destroy. And I know you're like, well, what are we getting at with symbology? What am I getting at with symbology? Symbology is the language of the gods. So you see like individuals like Jay-Z throw up the diamond, the rock, you know. You see John Lennon back in the 60s throw up the peace sign, the two fingers. And so you see, especially in music and arts and entertainment, a lot of individuals throwing up different symbols and symbology. If you look in the Bible, those symbols that were thrown up in the Bible, such as breaking the bread, sipping the wine, dying on the cross, um, biting the apple, taking your shoes off, and before you to get your feet washed, and um, walking around the walls of Jericho 7 times. Like, all this is symbolic language. So what am I getting at? I'm getting at your daily routine and regimen tells a story symbolically in the symbolic lineage. Like, you have a surface storyline, and then you have a symbolic storyline. And your symbolic storyline dwells into your subconscious mind or into your heart. The things of the heart is speaking loud to you. We call it God. And this is to keep you safe, to keep you from something, to get you to something, and so forth and so on. So I wanted to talk about money with symbols and how you see a lot of symbols on money. And one of the symbols that I want to speak on is gold. And so um I want to get this in here before I run out of time. I ain't gonna run out of money. However, one of the symbols of um wait a minute, I should reframe that differently. The Bible states that thou shalt show me the path of life, Psalm 16:11. In thy right hand, the Bible states in Psalm 16:11, thou shalt show me the path of life. In thy presence there's fullness of joy. At thy right hand there are pleasures forevermore. And in that passage, I see imagery of like gold chalices with rubies in it, and all type of wines and pastries, desserts, and smoke and mirrors and thrones and crowns and scepters, and just a whole kingdom like of a deity. I said pastries and desserts, but like drugs for the stomach. You know what I mean? So virtues, elements. To be more connoisseur like, to be more um to be more delicate like with those terms, to be more professional and distinguished. And so in that passage it says, thou shalt show me the path of life. And I believe the path of life is learning, is always learning, is always being in the student seat, even as a teacher or a master. It's always being able to pick up and raise the bar to the next level, and so forth and so on. So the path of life is to always be attending the University of Hard Knocks, or the University of Life, or the University of the Galaxy. And so the kingdom, the king's domain, the life's domain, the lifedom. So when you read the Bible, it's symbolic in its language. It has a surface truth, and it has a symbology truth. And the language, the message is in the symbols. And some of the individuals say if you read the message that's in the symbols, you will get that the surface isn't there, that there is no surface truth. However, that's to be debatable between those who partake in whether or not Moses really parted the Red Sea, if there really was a man that parted the Red Sea, whether his name was Moses, Moshe, Muhammad, Morpheus, Movado, Medallion, something with an M, but like, just to be, into the act of symbols, some say that the surface of the Bible isn't reality or isn't actual. So that's what some anthropologists would say. However, I'm no anthropologist, so I don't want to go into that. However, the and also Psalm 16:11, the Bible on the symbology truth states that, how can I put this? To Well, I'm gonna go. Excuse me. I'm gonna go from what I was saying about the anthropologist to I'm gonna just teleport there. Like when it comes to manifesting and bringing things into fruition and materializing, we have things such as, and I was talking about this prior to this part that I got to in this video. I was saying that as mankind, we materialize babies. We have babies. We materialize urine. We materialize feces. We materialize little sleep in our eye. We materialize hair, nails, hair, teeth, um, you name it, all from the generator in our bodies. And so all of this is generating from within. So with our desires and the way that our mechanism is working, when we partake in a meal, that meal generates energy for us, and we have waste as well as urine, and we have the growth of our soul, spirit, and self maturing through partaking in the bread and the wine. So there's another way to partake in um, delicacies in cuisine, and that's called what Jesus said in the Bible: man shall not live on bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of my mouth or from the living Lord. So that's a symbolic statement. So this bread that he's speaking of, this I probably should have titled this "The Bread of Life," right? This bread that he's speaking of, I got 8 more minutes, basically 7 more minutes, about 47 seconds. This bread that he's speaking of is the bread which I like to call gold. And remember, I was talking about materializing and bringing things into fruition and bringing things to manifestation, and this bread, the milk and honey, the bread and wine, the pleasures, the joy, the presence of God, the fear of the Lord, these things, these commodities, these enhancements of spiritual and soul components are all in the Word. It's my Bible, my new Bible. I just picked it up today. Check it out. I know I'm getting off into a stream of glory of my word, but I like it, man. Just check this out, Black and Gold, Thomas Nielsen, King Jehovah version, KJV, Yoda, Yahweh. But so the bread of life is gold. And speaking symbolically as well as you can tell me if I'm speaking truthfully through the surface truth. I guess bread is gold. You look at the crust, golden bread, but a little truth for you. The gold, the bread is gold, and on this surface, on this symbolic wavelength, stature, on this symbolic stature, eating bread that is gold is like snorting or snozzing um, drugs or virtues or elements, or we call it in the last past couple years, last past decades or so, cocaine. And the code word for it is gold, GODE. And this gold is information that transforms the soul and spirit to a higher form of creation or creator or architect or author. So this gold is the alchemic form of what I like to call the path of life. And this gold is the teacher because it's providing information like food is information, soul food. And this bread is gold. And this bread that, like, you might see yourself, like if you could see yourself, like they say we three, like spirit, body, and soul. So like you might see yourself on one level reading a book. The next level he eating bread while he reading a book. The next level from that he, you know what I mean, have taking bumps. You feel me? So this is high knowledge, or what they call forbidden knowledge, because everyone's not meant to take, you know what I'm saying? Or are they? That's for you to be or not to be. It's deeper than what you see. So inside of that, that's symbolic to take your edification to the next level, to eat from the king's plate of gold. And in that, it transforms the spirit and soul to work a higher form of magic or a higher form of science than ever before. I'm going to leave off with that. I shall return. I titled this Symbology. Remember, in chess, the move symbolizes another move for that move that was symbolized in that move. Groove, dollars.